Latinos, we need to take responsibility and acknowledge the fact that this is our fault.
I got a question for my Latino community.
And you have the nerve to question Black people? Not your fellow Latinos who casted the vote, not white people, but Black people. Black people who overwhelmingly went to the polls to support the candidate that they wanted.
To my Hispanic and Latin community, people are really starting to question, who are you really aligned with? I'm Frank Ski, and I'm just frankly speaking. Recently, the rapper Plies went viral when he had a very interesting question for you all.
Hey, just real quick. But this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't even being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian?
Okay, in case you can't tell, I am mixed. I'm the product of a black Puerto Rican father and an African American mom. When I was young, my grandmother used to raise me, my Puerto Rican grandmother, who didn't speak very much English. And when I used to date a black girl, guess what she used to call them? Cucarachas, meaning roaches. She didn't like black people too much. My father eventually married a white Cuban woman, and I was brought into this white Cuban family, very loving family, spending every Sunday dinner in Hialeah and Little Havana. And rarely, if any, I don't remember seeing any black Cubans. It wasn't until I was grown and went to Cuba and was like, damn, there's a lot of Africans here in Cuba. Matter of fact, I went to Brazil, Salvador Bahia. I was like, damn, there's a lot of Africans here. And all over the diaspora, Africans are everywhere. Here's the interesting part, though. Most Spanish-speaking countries don't relate to their other half. Guess what they want to be? The colonizers. Listen, every Spanish-speaking country on earth was colonized by Spain. White Spaniards. Matter of fact, down in Texas, James Tallarico beat Jasmine Crockett for that U.S. Senate seat. Who is he? A white boy from Texas. He got over 60% of the Latino vote in Texas. How does that happen? Most blacks would have thought y'all was related to us. Y'all got the same struggle we got. But y'all really want to relate to the white colonizers more than the people who were struggling like you? Why is that? I'm not here to judge. I'm just Frank Ski asking a question, and I'm just frankly speaking.
This Latino creator has come forward to explain why some Latinos have been taught to be, racist, to hold racist attitudes and hatred towards, black Americans. And the discussion has sparked a heated debate across social media. Now, many black people say this is not a new thing, this is not a new conversation, because they have been speaking about anti-Blackness within parts of the Latino community for years, for decades. I mean, they question, why some Latinos believe they are closer to whiteness simply because they have lighter skin, and why some Latinos choose to distance themselves from, black people instead of recognizing their shared struggle, and maybe they can fight together. But these are difficult yet important conversations that, continue to divide opinions between, different communities. So let's dive into this episode, and after watching, let's have, some thoughts, let's discuss, and don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time. Otherwise, I'll see you at the end for more commentaries.
Why are Latinos asking black people to join them in the protest? But last month, black people asked Latinos to stop saying the N-word because black people find it disrespectful when Latinos say the N-word. And Latinos were so offended that they started disrespecting the black community. And I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I want to say something. If you've been following me for a while or have gone through my videos recently, you see that I'm constantly pushing for unity between communities. Majority of the black people in the comments are stating how they get a lot of disrespect from the Latinos, and majority of the Latinos in my comments are actually really disrespectful to the black community. And I've been pushing for unity because these protests are not where we're going to unite. There's something bigger to come where we need that unity. And something that I've been noticing during these protests is a lot of Latinos are asking the black community for help. And when the black community states how they don't want to, or they don't feel like they should, Latinos are disrespecting them with racial slurs. There's a video circulating on the internet where a Latina is yelling the N-word in a very derogatory form to a Black police officer. How is that helping our cause when we're asking the Black community to join us? There's videos on the internet where the comment section is full of hate from Latinos to Black people because the Black community doesn't want to join us on the protest. And while sure, I agree that this is everybody's fight, Latinos, we need to take responsibility and acknowledge the fact that this is our fault. I find it very ghetto and disrespectful for us to be saying the N-word. I find it very disrespectful for us to be even saying the M word, that stands for Beatles in Spanish. And while I am going to have a lot of people in the comments saying that this is all politics and about the Latinos for Trump BS, this has nothing to do with politics because it is before Trump took office. We were put against each other back in the 1970s and the 1980s. And we're a product of that now because it was our parents that were put against one another. Why? Must I remind you that back in the 1960s when we were all united, we actually got things done, like the Civil Rights Act movement. Latinos tend to forget that Black people, the Black community, were out protesting for field worker rights, immigration rights with us. And the Black community tends to forget that there were Latinos marching with Martin Luther King Jr., down to the point that we do have a statue for MLK in Mexico because MLK was a huge impact in the Latino community. And while I do not agree with Cesar Chavez and the stuff that he did to the immigrants in the United States, Cesar Chavez, amongst many other Latinos, were marching with MLK. Black Panthers were protecting Mexicans, while Black Panthers also helped start the Brown Berets. We have a lot of history together, and this is why divided we stay conquered, because together we get things done. So no, I'm not asking the Black community to come out and march with us, to protest with us, because this is something small compared to whatever is about to come. I'm asking the Latino and the Black community to take accountability for whatever we have going on and start asking yourselves, why have we been put against each other? And why have some of us actually gone along with the way that they want us against each other? Why is there hate amongst each other when we've done nothing but unite in the past and get things done? Where does this hate come from? I've had my fair share of experiences with racist people in the past, but those people do not define the communities that they come from for me. There's always going to be racists within each community. So to my fellow Latinos, we've needed unity for a long time from other communities, and now we're reaping the consequences of us being hateful towards other communities. We even have hate within ourselves. And until we take accountability and change that, no one's going to come out to our rescue. Food for thought.
The tension between the Black and Latino community needs to stop. And we need to be the generation to stop it. Anti-Blackness exists in our community. We know this. Anti-Blackness also exists within the Black community itself. All communities of color struggle with this. And the reason why is what we all have in common. We were all colonized and trained to have a mindset of you versus me for survival. But that ends with us. We need to lead with unity and not division. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to stop pointing the finger in both communities and make the decision that we are going to choose to be united versus divided. I'm not going to pretend like I have all the answers, but here are examples of how you can show up differently and be the change you want to see. Number 1, share stories of solidarity. Share stories of love. Share stories of when you have experienced the Black or Latino community showing up in your spaces. We need to shift the narrative. Number 2, if your reality is division between the Black and Latino community and your goal is unity, then it is up to you to seek out examples of when the Latino and Black communities show up for one another, where they show love, where there is actual solidarity, because guess what? It exists. And if you need a place to start with me. I am happy to be a part of your network of Latinos who have nothing but love for our Black sisters and brothers. Number 3, ask your neighbors how you can be helpful. You need to lead with your heart in this moment. That is the only way that we are going to experience an actual shift. We have to show up as human beings. We have to show up vulnerable. We have to show up as the change that we want to see. Lastly, ask others to join you. Let's actually start in the comments. Share your stories of solidarity and love. If members of the Latino and Black community have a hard time seeing it, let's show them how it's actually done. I stand with my Black brothers and sisters, and I also stand with my Latino familia. But the change, it starts with us. I love you.
I, for one, am never going to forget how a lot of you guys on this app treated Black women and the Black men, but specifically the Black women who said that we were resting and we were sitting this one out after the country played in our face when it came to Kamala being elected for president. I will never forget that, because over the past year and a half that we have declared that we are resting, we have continuously seen people in our country be continuously anti-Black and racist. The Latino community tried to come at us when everything started happening with the ICE raids. And now look, we have Latino people who are trying to fight us in the comments, fight other Black people in the comments for calling out the consistent racism and anti-Blackness within the Latino community, on the heels of this Ashley Gonzalez video that has popped up, the sheriff from Houston that went on a racist rant. We saw how y'all played in Jasmine Crockett's face. We saw how these online white leftists acted when Black people were calling out the fact that it was wrong that Mandami's wife, even though I fuck with Mandami, I like Mandami, but his wife had those anti-Black and racist tweets, and how we just need to get over it. I will never forget how y'all acted with us when we said, you know what, we're going to take a rest. And even some other Black creators on this app, some who I really enjoy their social and political commentary. And, you know, some were giving us grace and they understood and they were trying to talk about the nuance and the bigger picture of everything and how we shouldn't rest. I get that. But some of y'all were being very disrespectful. And we have seen time and time again that we were right. That we were right. These people are in the comments of Black creators who are from Texas or from LA or from Arizona, 3 places which I have lived in, all 3 places. I live in LA now, and talked about their experience with anti-Blackness and racism from the Latino community. Latino people are in the comments right now telling Black people that they shouldn't say that. Don't generalize us all. But y'all are under the comments of Black people, but not under the comments of the Latino people who are agreeing with Ashley Gonzalez. They're in the comments, in the videos that you're commenting under. There are Latino people saying, oh, I agree with her, but you're not going back and forth with them. You're going back and forth with the creator or the other Black people in the comments. You got this poor white trash using Black people for rage bait, talking about Black proms and hood proms. Y'all had a lot to say, a lot of disparaging and mean things to say to the Black community when they said, we're going to rest because y'all are playing in our faces. And continuously, we have seen time and time again that we were right.
On this week's episode of You Have the Audacity To, Latinos asking Black people why they aren't present to help fight against the deportations like Latinos were for the BLM movement. What? The audacity to ask such a question is absolutely insane. First of all, Black people, other Latinos begged you not to vote for this Cheeto. Begged you to vote for your own causes. And yet and still, you voted for him. Now here we are, facing mass deportations, and you have the nerve to question Black people? Not your fellow Latinos who casted the vote, not white people, but Black people. Black people who overwhelmingly went to the polls to support the candidate that they wanted, who didn't say she was going to deport Latinos. Do you see the hypocrisy? Also, not to mention, Latinos weren't overwhelmingly involved in the BLM movement. I'm sorry. Well, not that I've seen. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But as far as I've seen in my area, no.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Now, let's talk about this. After hearing these people sharing their views, their concerns, their perspective, I think it is so surprising that after everything Black people have done, Black people have contributed to the, fight for equal rights and justice, some people can deliberately choose to, show disrespect instead of appreciation to Black people. I mean, that is why conversations like this have become so emotional online. Because, you see, many people are simply asking a simple question, like, why does the solidarity seem to disappear when Black voices, when Black people are asking for the same respect they have shown to other people, they have shown to, Latinos, Latino communities? Now, one of the biggest, points raised in this discussion is about accountability. Yes, let's talk about it. You see, several speakers argued that before asking Black people to stand alongside another community, there must be, first an honest willingness to confront anti-Black attitudes, wherever they exist. Because respect has to go both ways. It's not a one-way thing. If people genuinely want stronger relationships, they cannot ignore the experiences of black people or dismiss their concerns whenever they speak about discrimination, the discrimination black people have personally, faced. The second thing is about the in this conversation, the second thing, reminds us that, black people have a long history of supporting justice movements that extend beyond their own community. They are not selfish, They fight a fight not only for them to benefit, for them alone, Their fight have benefited even Asians. These guys who are continuing to be, disrespectful to black people. I mean, other people you cannot understand. You see, throughout history, black activists have often stood with others in the fight for civil rights, voting rights, workers' rights, equal treatment, justice. In so many ways, black people have fought a fight that has ended up, benefiting other people who didn't even take part in fighting those fights. Because of that history, many black people feel it is reasonable to expect the same level of respect and support in return. I mean, it's just a simple mathematics. If I give you respect, you just have to give me respect back. Okay, if I've given you something good, you have to give me something good as well. You don't have to give me something bad. It's just simple mathematics. I mean, mutual solidarity cannot exist if it only moves in one direction, like from black people to other communities, but it's never from other communities to black people. It doesn't make sense. The third thing which is also discussed in this video is that if you took much attention, you could see that several speakers also emphasized that no community should be judged by the actions of every individual. Yes, there are many Latino voices that openly reject racism, condemn anti-Blackness, and genuinely want stronger relationships with the black community. And those voices deserve some sort of recognition, appreciation, because meaning of unity can only be built when people are willing to challenge prejudice within their own communities instead of pretending it does not exist. So they are acknowledging that there is this issue in our community. We really have this disease of hating black people for no reason. And finally, another thing which is also discussed in this video, and perhaps that's the most important lesson in this video, is about unity. Unity begins with honesty. Okay, you look at it. Ignoring painful experiences does not heal them. Okay, you cannot heal them by just forgetting those things don't exist. But listening, acknowledging harm, and treating one another with dignity, treating one another with some sort of respect, create much stronger foundation when simply asking people to move on. So it's just that simple. You cannot let problems go when you just ignore them, but acknowledge they are there. Black people have every right to speak about their experiences without being told those experiences are not real. And at the same time, respective conversations create, opportunities for understanding, for, mutual understanding, at least, mutual respect, all those things, and lasting change. So if both communities are willing to lead with accountability, to lead with some sort of respect, and to lead in the truth, they can build stronger relationships instead of allowing division to divide them further, or like those things to define their future. Now, what do you think about everything discussed in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll appreciate to read them, to understand them, to get something out of that. Because this is how I can take this video, this is how I can react it, but I don't know how you can react to this video as well. There might be some points maybe I've missed, so I would like to know them in the comment section. If you enjoyed this discussion, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel so we can grow this community, we can have more of these discussions together. Remember, respect is needed, and it has to go both ways. There's no way black people can give sugar and you are giving them salt. It doesn't make sense. Give them something which is sweet, because they have given you a sweet thing as well. So anyway, I love that you came to watch. Don't forget to share your views, your comment, your perspective about this issue, because I know it may not be over. People may have so many things to say. What exactly is your take on this? I love that you came to watch. See you next time.